Chadwick Boseman's name became synonymous with strength, resilience, and talent. The world first witnessed his undeniable brilliance in 42, where he portrayed Jackie Robinson, a man who broke racial barriers in the world of baseball. His meteoric rise continued with Get On Up, Marshall, and of course, Black Panther. But there was one thing that the world did not know, the immense personal battle that he was fighting behind the scenes. In 2016, while the world cheered for his role as T'Challa in Captain America, Civil War, Boseman was privately battling the early stages of colon cancer. The diagnosis came as a shock, even to those closest to him. Chadwick had always been a quiet and private individual. He kept his personal life away from the spotlight, fiercely guarding his health, even when the world around him was filled with praise and attention. For years, Boseman worked tirelessly, taking on roles that would solidify his legacy, all the while undergoing grueling treatments. He had been diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, which later progressed to stage 4. Despite the severity of the diagnosis, Chadwick continued to appear in public, attending movie premieres and charity events, often looking as radiant as ever. He never let the world see the toll it took on him. Chadwick's decision to keep his diagnosis private was a testament to his strength and his desire not to be seen as a victim. In an industry known for gossip and sensationalism, he chose to remain focused on his work. His determination to continue working through treatment, chemotherapy, surgery, and the emotional toll of living with cancer was a testament to his character. Fans were unaware that behind his dazzling smile and energetic presence on screen, there was a man fighting an invisible battle. Chadwick's dedication to his craft became even more poignant when he was cast as T'Challa in Black Panther. The film was a cultural phenomenon, not only for its groundbreaking portrayal of a black superhero, but also for the deeper messages it carried. Boseman brought T'Challa to life with a sense of dignity and grace, embodying the very spirit of resilience he lived by. But as the world celebrated the success of Black Panther, Chadwick knew that time was something he couldn't control. Throughout his treatment, Boseman continued to act in major films, his health worsening with each passing year. By the time Avengers Endgame was filming, he was already well into his battle with cancer. His fellow actors and directors could not have known what he was enduring, as Chadwick never let on. But what was even more heartbreaking was the fact that he didn't just keep his diagnosis from the public, he kept it from most of his loved ones as well. He didn't want people to pity him, and he didn't want to be treated differently. His incredible work ethic, professionalism, and strength in the face of illness were part of what made him a beloved figure in Hollywood. But it wasn't just his work that made him special. It was his character, his willingness to stand tall in the face of adversity, and his deep belief in the power of storytelling to create change. Chadwick Boseman's death in August 2020 was a gut-wrenching moment for the world, as fans and peers alike had no idea of the internal struggle he had been fighting for 4 years. Behind the dazzling smile and the powerful performances he gave on screen, Chadwick was grappling with the brutal realities of cancer. The disease that took him away from us was colon cancer, a type of cancer that affects the colon or rectum, often going undetected until it is too late. Chadwick's battle with colon cancer began in 2016, a time when he was at the height of his career, making waves with his role in Captain America, Civil War as the Black Panther. His diagnosis came at stage 3, and despite the severity, he continued to work on major films while simultaneously undergoing treatments. By the time the disease progressed to stage 4, the cancer had spread to other organs, making it even more difficult to manage. Throughout it all, Chadwick kept his illness hidden, choosing not to share it with the public, his colleagues, or even some of his closest friends. The treatment journey for colon cancer is a difficult one, and it typically begins with surgery to remove tumors from the colon or rectum. For Chadwick, this likely meant several rounds of surgery to remove parts of his colon that had been affected by the cancer. These surgeries are invasive, requiring significant recovery time and the risk of complications. Afterward, chemotherapy typically follows as the primary treatment. Chemotherapy uses strong drugs to kill cancer cells, often leading to side effects like nausea, fatigue, and a weakened immune system. However, colon cancer can be tricky to treat. The cancer is often resistant to chemotherapy alone, especially if it has spread to distant parts of the body. In these cases, a combination of chemotherapy and radiation therapy is used to help shrink tumors and slow the cancer's progression. Radiation therapy uses high-energy radiation to target cancer cells, and while it can be effective, it also carries the risk of damage to healthy tissue surrounding the cancer. Given Chadwick's age and his vigorous schedule, the physical toll of these treatments would have been immense. His decision to continue filming during his treatment, particularly while working on Black Panther and Avengers Endgame, reveals his incredible fortitude. These treatments are not only physically draining, but emotionally taxing as well. The effects of chemotherapy, in particular, can alter a person's appearance and energy levels, leading to hair loss, weight changes, and a weakened immune system. The fact that Chadwick was able to maintain his composure and deliver some of the most iconic performances of his career while secretly fighting cancer speaks volumes about his inner strength. Chadwick's treatment would have included a combination of chemotherapy drugs designed to target specific proteins and genes that promote cancer cell growth. One of the most commonly used drugs for colon cancer is 5-fluorouracil, 5-FU, which interferes with the cancer cell's ability to multiply. Other chemotherapy agents, such as oxaliplatin, may have been used in combination to make the treatment more effective. However, chemotherapy is not without its risks. Side effects such as anemia, immune suppression, nausea, and nerve damage can occur, leaving a patient debilitated for days or even weeks after a session. After chemotherapy, immunotherapy is sometimes used to help the body's immune system recognize and fight cancer cells. Immunotherapy drugs like pembrolizumab and nivolumab have shown promise in some patients with colon cancer, especially those with high microsatellite instability, MSIH. This is a genetic condition that makes certain cancers, like colon cancer, more responsive to immunotherapy. Unfortunately, it's unclear if Chadwick's treatment involved immunotherapy, as he remained private about the specific details of his medical regimen. Another important treatment for colon cancer patients is targeted therapy. This treatment focuses on specific molecules or pathways that contribute to cancer cell growth. Drugs like bevacizumab and cetuximab target the growth of blood vessels that supply nutrients to tumors, essentially starving the cancer. These therapies are often used in combination with chemotherapy to increase the chances of shrinking tumors. It's possible that Chadwick underwent some form of targeted therapy to manage his symptoms and slow the progression of his disease. But even with all these advanced treatments, colon cancer is a difficult disease to conquer. Stage 4 colon cancer, the stage at which Chadwick's cancer progressed, is notoriously difficult to treat. By this point, the cancer has spread beyond the colon, often reaching the liver or lungs. The spread of cancer to other organs significantly decreases the chance of successful treatment, and the focus often shifts to palliative care, aimed at improving the quality of life rather than curing the disease. During the later stages of colon cancer, patients are typically monitored closely for symptoms like abdominal pain, blood in the stool, and difficulty eating or digesting food. Chemotherapy and radiation may continue to be used, but at lower doses to help alleviate symptoms rather than attempting a cure. Many patients also begin to receive support from a team of specialists to manage pain, emotional distress, and the overall impact of the disease on their lives. Despite his illness, Chadwick continued to work in a capacity that many others would have found impossible. His dedication to his craft was truly remarkable. But it also begs the question, why did he keep his diagnosis a secret? There is a deep cultural stigma surrounding cancer, especially in the Black community, where there's often a reluctance to speak openly about illness. For Chadwick, who was not just an actor but also a symbol of strength for many, the idea of showing weakness was unimaginable. His silence was not out of fear or shame, but out of a desire to preserve his legacy and keep his public image untarnished by his private pain. In the final months of his life, as his condition worsened, Chadwick's physical appearance began to change drastically. He lost weight, and his once vibrant energy seemed to drain away. Yet he continued to make public appearances, leading many to believe that he was still in good health. His ability to push through the pain and continue working, even when he was nearing the end of his battle, showed a level of dedication that is unparalleled in Hollywood. Chadwick passed away on August 28, 2020, leaving behind a legacy that will never be forgotten. His death was a heartbreaking reminder that cancer, while treatable, remains one of the deadliest diseases in the world. The battle against colon cancer is long and often cruel, and Chadwick's story serves as a poignant reminder of the need for early detection, the power of resilience, and the importance of supporting those who are fighting cancer, whether they are in the spotlight or not. As we reflect on Chadwick's life and legacy, it's essential to recognize the importance of early screenings and the need to be proactive about our health. Colon cancer is a disease that can be treated if caught early, and the work done by Chadwick and many others in raising awareness is invaluable. His story should inspire us all to take care of our bodies, to advocate for ourselves in the face of illness, and to remember that strength comes not just from our successes, but also from our struggles.